today on Plow and Pantry, I am making a Philly cheesesteak soup for Souptember. Souptember is September, but where we make soups, and some people have formal collaborations with this. Some people are just doing Souptember, that's me. But I think if you search the hashtag Souptember, you will find videos with lots of soup if you are one of those people that looks forward to soup season in the fall, like I do. For Philly cheesesteak soup, I am starting with some of my homegrown onions that did not get all the way cured right. So I am chopping these up. I'm also going to be using some leftover roast beef from the other night. Roast takes a long time to cook. I mean, I do mine in the Instant Pot, so it's pretty quick anyways, but it does take a while. Let me get some butter going here. It does take a while, and so I tend to make extra. There we go. I tend to make extra of the roast and use the leftovers in some other type of dish during later in the week. So for Philly cheesesteak, I like to make thin little slices that are kind of elongated. I don't like them as long as they typically are on a sandwich, but I do like them not diced, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I am also using up some garden peppers. This has all of the flavors of a Philly cheesesteak sandwich, but in a soup instead of a sandwich. Although the sandwich is nice in cold weather too because it's warm and heated up. But my peppers, I'm kind of using up what was in the garden. Normally when I make this, I use like about 3-ish large bell peppers, and I like to do a mix of colors. But today, tail ends of things, right? So I have a medium size and a small green bell pepper. I've got a banana pepper. I have, these are actually ripe small banana peppers as well, and a small lunchbox mini pepper. I like to do the multiple colored things, but you don't have to. You can stick with one color if you like that, or sometimes I'll do one of each, like a green, a red, a yellow, green, red, orange, something like that. Funny thing though, when I was out picking peppers a minute ago, my dog was with me. We have a new puppy, Jet, J-E-T, like the airplane, because his older brother is at the Air Force Academy. And he apparently likes produce. I have never had a dog that likes produce. I know like James Prigioni on his channel, he's got that adorable dog Tuck that likes to eat carrots and what have you. I have never had any of my dogs interested in any vegetables other than like a cooked roasted winter squash. That's been it. That's totally it. So we go on walks and he stops by the raspberry bushes for a raspberry or two. And then today I was picking these peppers and I had one of these that was yellow, and he wanted it. So I gave that one to him, and he lay down in the garden somewhere and munched on it. He's a funny dog. We had to put our last dog to sleep in January, and that was really hard on us. We've always had a dog. It was just gut-wrenching though, and so we waited several months before we got a new one. Normally we always have a dog here, but that one, the last one was just super hard. So we got Jet about 2 weeks ago, just under 2 weeks, and he's a puppy. He's down here because he's already learned that when I'm in the kitchen, he should be too. Who knows what I might drop. But we got him just under 2 weeks ago from a rescue place. He's like a hound mix, adorable. Getting into all of the puppy trouble. He's about 5 months old. They estimate between 4 to 5 months. But he ate one of my peppers. That was the whole point of that long story. Ate one of my peppers and I had to get another one that was a little bit smaller. But I still have a good amount of color going on in here. I have some beef broth here. I did not use my home canned beef broth today. I was just too lazy to go downstairs to my storage in the basement and get it. But I have beef, like a beef bouillon powder up here, so I just made it with that. And I'm also putting mushrooms in here. Not everyone puts mushrooms on their Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, but I like it. I think mushrooms go super well with the peppers and onions. Rinse my fingers again. So I'm really just trying to get this to where the onions are starting to soften. Get some salt and pepper, always. I think it helps break down the onion stuff. Okay, so this is like your standard chop and drop soup. I start with the onions because they take the longest, and then the bell peppers, mushrooms take the least. I've already washed these up. I know most people say don't wash your mushrooms, but it's a fast wash. I don't think it does much damage to them, and it helps me go through them faster. If you ever seen Alton Brown's Good Eats episode, it's from forever ago, where he put that whole thing to the test about wiping down mushrooms versus washing them in water. And it didn't make that much of a difference. I am just gonna let this saute until it gets starts to cook down, get softened. Those onions start to brown a little bit, and the mushrooms as well, and they release some of their fluid. And then what I'm getting in here next is actually, let me get some garlic in. So for the beef, when I made a roast earlier this week, I made extras because it takes a while to cook. I made them, what's all different sizes. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with it yet, but leftover roast is a great way. It's a great way to use it. That's really good, y'all. I'm also hungry. But I have also made this with like roast beef lunch meat. If you don't have leftover roast, you can also buy flank steak or something that cooks well faster, because roasts are like a slow cooking thing, you know. But something that cooks faster, you could slice it up, put it in the pan to cook first, and actually it could cook with the onions, and then just continue making your soup that way. So I just find the ease of having the meat cooked already makes this less daunting. Not that it's daunting, but you know what I mean? Plus, it makes it come together faster when the meat is already cooked, because this is one of those soups that you're kind of slicing and chopping and dropping as you go. And by the time you're done with the last thing, the stuff that you started first that really needs to be tender is already cooked. You can add the broth. And then after that, as long as it's heated through, it's ready to eat. So I'm gonna get the rest of this chunked up, and I'm just doing like little bits. You can shred it if you want, if you prefer that texture. You can make long skinny slices like that are in the sandwiches. I just, since it's a soup and I'll be eating it with a spoon, I prefer to slice it into sizes that can fit on a spoon well. I am also going to, with my leftover, I put the juice in there, and I'm also going to put that in here with it. That is actually a good amount for the soup. So I have a little bit left. Some of that will be for the dogs, some will be for the chickens, because it's on its last day of being good. Okay. I want to add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Not a little bit, I like Worcestershire. I'm gonna let that finish getting soft, and then I'll add the broth. So the last thing I need to do is pour in this broth. It's about 4 cups. And then when this is heated through, which my broth is like room temperature, so it won't take long, then this is done and ready. I like to sprinkle provolone cheese. I cut up some slices here because I can't find provolone in any other form than slices in my place. So I will sprinkle this on top. But what a lot of people do, it's just not my thing, is if you put it in a bowl that is oven safe and put a slice of bread, like a French bread or a baguette or something that's good size for the bowl, and put a slice of the provolone on top, stick it under the broiler for a minute. It looks beautiful and it's delicious that way. I just do the straight provolone because I don't do very much bread, and I also don't like croutons or soggy bread. So in my soup, that's just not my thing. I'll taste this. Perfect. I was gonna see if I needed to taste it to add salt, but I don't. It's perfect as it is. Get some of this in here. And sprinkle some provolone on top. And because I'm a cheese hound, a little bit more. And this is a really good winter soup. So savory. I love all those flavors together. Thanks for joining me today. I hope to see you soon on another video.